Hello again, and welcome back to another edition of the Knots Around Table, or NSRT, as we've lovingly named it, I guess now, or back.
Yeah.
Things. We're joined once again by our great friend Jet from Desert Fox Fields. Thanks for coming in.
No, thank you.
You actually got in here earlier than I did.
Yes, yes, I did.
Embarrassing.
And we're going to try to keep the video still shorter than our last one. It ran a little long. I didn't realize how long it was. But we had fun.
Zulu time.
No, we have
what?
time.
No, we have to
go.
Okay. So you guys know how it works here.
Everybody
You
get
guys
out their
comment in the previous video on questions you'd like answered by our panel of nearly not qualified at all hosts who try to answer your questions. And they go in the helmet of reason, and we answer them.
Talk about it and stuff. Yeah.
You want to start us off, as is the tradition?
I almost fell out of my chair.
Got my coffee back. I haven't had
And
coffee.
a question
the last
fell out.
It's like a. It's every.
You had one job.
You know what it is? I think the helmet's getting
job.
too full, and so we're presented with that problem.
Ooh, the orange businessman. What was your most memorable moment in your entire airsofting career?
That's actually a pretty good one.
I think mine. Well, are we going for like awesome, or are we going for like what was I thinking?
No, it's not a fail. We already had the fails.
Most
most awesome.
The most memorable. I want to say the most awesome or most memorable moment. I'll just, you know what, making that most American operator video. That was probably the most memorable and will just haunt me for the rest of my life.
Oh.
I think my most memorable moment was before I started doing videos. I was on an airsoft team when I was getting started into airsoft. I was getting really involved in like being on the team and stuff. And the local field that when you wanted to join the team, it was kind of a fairly long process. You know, you guys for regs have probies and stuff, and you kind of have to do things for the team to make sure that you're you're one of the team members.
You're dedicated.
Well, it's in the same. Forms. Yeah. Okay. There you go. So much in the same way, we had an initiation process, not hazing. Okay.
Yeah.
Not hazing.
Ours is totally like a fraternity.
Okay. So it was most definitely hazing. But so you had to do things. You got talked. You got made fun of a lot, and you had to kind of build that camaraderie. But everybody went through, before you joined the team, everybody went through what we called a gauntlet. And everybody's gauntlet was different. Everybody had to do something different for their gauntlet. My gauntlet was I was not allowed to wear any protective gear. So I had a pair of camo shorts on.
Okay.
And just no shirt.
Okay.
Oh.
And I was given a rental gun with one high cap magazine, and that's it. And if you guys remember the old Airsoft playground before it was Tax City, before it moved, there were two sides. There was a hay side and there was a city side. And then on one of the sides of this field, it was called hay side because they had a whole bunch of bales of hay as kind of barriers and cover. And in the middle of Hayside was a plywood building. It was probably 8x8 or 10x10, and it literally had like one door and one window. So my task in my gauntlet was to sit inside that room with all 15 members of my team, with all 400 plus guns in an indoor game, aiming at the building. The only thing I had to do was A, make it out of the building alive, B, kill 3 other members of my team with a rental gun. Yep, that was my most memorable moment. I left that day bleeding. And my teammates lovingly rubbed salt into all of my airsoft cuts. That was probably the most memorable moment of my airsoft career. I don't condone it, but it was a lot of fun. And I really felt like I was part of the team.
You're one of the guys.
I was one of the guys.
You're one of the guys.
Ours is way less hurtful and
That's how you gauge devotion, right there.
I know, but ours is maybe more funny. Like, you don't know when it's coming. You knew what was coming.
Oh well, I found out the moment it was going on.
But you found out like, hey,
take your clothes off.
Take your clothes off. Here's the rental gun.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
and I was just like, whoa.
Yeah, no. Ours, it would be more like, hey, I forgot my keys in the field. Go help me, and then everybody ambushes you. That's probably a little bit worse. I don't know.
That'd be kind of hard
you can't expect it.
Well, I mean, because you're gonna be like, hey, I left my keys on the field. Why don't you go put this iPro on and go look for it?
No, because everybody.
Oh, okay.
No, a lot of our guys are smart and they're wearing iPro in the parking lot anyway because of various other incidences between members. So, but most memorable. It's hard to top Matt's. My own initiation wasn't that memorable. I'd have to say maybe like 2 LCs ago. I don't know. I was basically by myself for like defending this point. And I defended it forever against 2 squads, and I was like, yes.
Nice.
And then I got back, and my camera wasn't rolling. And
what?
That sucks. I hate
it was
when that
it was an
happens.
awesome sequence. I got drove around in like a Jeep, and I had a Jeep on Jeep battle, which was fun. And then and then I was dropped off at this point to hold it. I held it, and then I'm like, cool. I have this epic footage. No, I don't.
Oh,
No.
It was the GoPro one. The GoPro one wasn't that great at the time, so I mean, but we're gonna make more best moments at Broken Home.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's set to be an amazing. What's go next? I'm really excited for this event.
Yes, it'll be lots of fun.
Not even like I'm not even convinced by the helicopter. It's just everything else.
It'll be different. GG Gamer. Hey Matt and Shades.
He's not here, so Jet will stand in for Shades.
We have some Shades.
What's your opinion on scopes getting shut out? What can you do to avoid them? We kind of talked about.
We kind of covered this in our last one. Lexan, plexiglass,
a kill flash.
Yeah.
A little honeycomb thing that goes on the front, or just don't put your gun out when you're getting tons of incoming fire. I always see people make that mistake, like, oh my god, I've got tons of incoming fire. Let me peek around the corner. Oh, my thing got shot out. Like, well, what did you expect?
I think at any time you have anything you want to protect with whatever it is, you want to just protect it with Lexan.
Yeah.
Or one of those rail covers. The kill flash works pretty well. I actually prefer the Lexan over the kill flash, personally.
I've got a huge ding in my kill flash from where a BB contacted it. It does make it a little bit difficult to see because it mushes all those fins.
Well, plus it darkens. I don't really like how it darkens the red dot. So Lexan can be purchased for like a small sheet for like $6. Have a Dremel. You can Dremel it easily and then just hot glue it.
Yeah. Also, stop blind firing kids.
That's
how you get your stuff shot out too.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Because they got to shoot at something, so they're shooting at the gun instead of the face.
Yeah.
Ryan Dolan asks, what do you guys think of airsofters wearing real unit insignia and military rank on their camo? Being in the military, I think if they are never going to earn it, they shouldn't wear it. It's a really interesting question.
I don't.
Maybe not a lot of people know this. Are you comfortable talking about it?
No.
So Jet was actually in the military, unlike George and myself. So I think you're probably the best qualified to answer this question.
I know there's a really big gray area with wearing insignias and stuff. I mean, if you have a patch maybe that just says U.S. Army, and that's really it. I mean, that's okay. But if you've got like the triple canopy going on where you're like airborne, special forces, whatever else, and then you've got the spear, and I mean, even then, personally, I don't really mind as much. The line gets crossed though is when you wear all this stuff and then you walk around the field like claiming you are, or giving off the bravado that you are. Like, no, dude, you're nowhere near the level of intense training and psychological craziness that that goes with earning all of this stuff. I mean,
it's an insult to the people who do earn it.
Yeah, and that's kind of what drew the line for me too. I think it's more than. I think it's okay to pay homage to the service members who earn those things. If you want to wear it and you're kind of theming out your loadout to be like, you know what, I want to be like these guys. They were an inspiration to me. This really hits home for me as the epitome of a somebody who's tactical and who stands for heroism. It's another thing to be like, yeah, I did that. So if you're walking around claiming that you earned something that you didn't, that's where I have a really big issue.
that's where we have issues.
That's pretty much everybody's in agreement. So
like if you rock a raccoon police patch, I want you going around saying you're in the raccoon police.
Like, not so cool, many zombies.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
zombies don't got nothing on me.
Exactly. You're not a tactical Hello Kitty. Just say that you appreciate it.
You're not a tactical trunk monkey either.
Yeah. Okay. I think
there's only one tactical trunk monkey in my eyes.
I thought I had to bring it back to light. In no way am I trying to make light of that situation, but
it looked really big, and then it was just...
it was like, what? Oh, okay. Jack Inns. Oops. What are your thoughts on Camelback backpacks?
Awesome.
So hydration systems. I actually prefer the ones that you guys carry here, the Geiger system with the Geiger rig with the inflatable thingy bobber that sprays the water as opposed to sucking it out of the Camelback.
Is it really? I mean, is it really that revolutionary? That, don't get me wrong, like, I like the Geiger rig stuff, but like, really? I mean, is it so revolutionary that, my God, you don't have to waste all that muscle fatigue on sucking water out of the Camelback?
Okay. There's tons of reasons. Like, I never wore a Camelback really ever when I airsoft, because I didn't like the whole, like, having the hose. The hose always annoyed the crap out of me, and you could do way more stuff with just a bottle of water. Like, oh man, I'm really hot. Oh yes, you can't do that with the Camelback. Okay, yeah. So and it goes in a slow motion.
So now with the Geiger rig system,
yeah, I could spritz myself.
Yeah, okay.
Tactical spritzing. Let me add on to that. So yeah, you could spritz yourself, and then what's cool too is, like, okay, the Camelback, it's just really awkward to share the Camelback. Like, here you go ahead and get some water from my hose. Yeah. You know, at least with the Geiger, I could, spray it on you.
You know what I think would be actually,
I don't know why.
Hashtag no homo.
Instead of like a knife kill, you just go up to somebody and be like, oh, I got you with the squirt gun.
I don't know who would count that. That would just be really awkward for the other guy. Like, what did you just spray me with?
As in terms of my relationship and knowledge of Camelbacks, I do a lot of backpacking. And when I started backpacking, Camelback was like the premier, the premier hydration bladder manufacturer, and they were great because they didn't taste like plastic until 6 months after you use them the first time. But the drawback for me with old school Camelbacks is the hole wasn't big enough so that you could get your hand in and dry them out. Because the big problem with hydration bladders, if you leave water in them or you don't dry them out completely after you're done using them, they either grow mold, they take this funky taste about them, or if you're you're using one of those electrolyte tabs, they can get sticky. And so cleaning them out is really important. And the Camelbacks of olden days didn't give you that ability. When companies like Platypus came out, and then Camelback redid their openings, and Geiger rig came out. They all kind of innovated.
You can flip it inside out, and you can put it in the dishwasher.
Well, that's a cool thing too. Is the Geiger rig system I've seen on the Platypus, which is that zippered top, and that's great because you can flip it out and put it in. Well, I would never put my Platypus in it.
They said you could put it in the dishwasher. I don't know. I'm just going off of what they say.
But the Geiger rigs, I know you can. And those guys like pressure tested it up to way beyond where it's supposed to. But hydration bladders are just a good thing in general.
Yeah.
Gladiator Airsoft. What different Hopup buckings produce the best accuracy, range, in an airsoft gun?
There's so many. That all depends on the weight of BB you're using, the type of Hopup chamber you're using.
I think you can't go wrong with pretty much most aftermarket buckings.
Yeah.
Just be careful what ones are meant for what you're trying to achieve. If you're trying to achieve more range, or if you're trying to achieve more tighter groupings.
You'll notice on a lot of the packaging, and even in the descriptions on our website, a lot of them list like a hardness and what spring or FPS they're designed to be used with. It's not beneficial to you to use a hard bucking if you're not pushing the kind of FPS that's required to make that bucking useful.
Or it'll jam.
Yeah, exactly. So, pairing your bucking and your Hopup nub to the FPS and spring you're using is more beneficial than any specific brand. And as for shapes of buckings, I think people have had good results with just about everything other than that normal straw-looking thing. H hops, R hops, flat hops, everything.
There's a V.
The V hop.
Yeah, but the R hop and those kind of hops are a little bit more. You have to do a lot more customization.
Right.
But they are. I mean, I've used one R hop and it works really well for a single shot long range gun.
And Madball had that. Was that Shark?
The Shark bucking. That one worked really well. And actually, the Madball buckings work really well. So the Prometheus and the King Arms buckings. I've had good luck with those.
There you go.
My only input is Madball blue bucking. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I've used that one before.
That's the one
you're recommending that?
That's just my opinion.
Always, it's probably one of the best two upgrades in a gun are a bucking and a barrel.
Cherry Block.
And a battery.
Are you related to Ken Block?
Kent Block.
Never mind. Dear Enser,
I got it.
Can you tell me? Can I bring tactical gear like my plate carrier and helmet and other stuff to the airport, not carry on?
Yes. I'm glad this question came up because I get asked this a lot.
Yeah.
So sorry to jump on this question.
Oh, he's jumping on it. We've already asked you this question.
Oh, I know. Well, I answered this. I think
everybody's answered this question at least 3 or 4 times.
We've talked about guns, but they're talking
gear.
Yeah, about the gear. Yeah. So I made a video that specifically outlines how to travel with your airsoft guns, but I forgot to put in what to do about your gear. So this is If anyone asks you, share this video with them, okay? And then cue it up to whatever we are at in the timeline right now.
I think you should just be watching the whole thing anyway. You should actually be watching all the previous episodes. You should put this on a playlist and just keep watching.
Seriously, do something. Okay, so here it is right here. How to travel with your airsoft stuff. Okay, you can put whatever the heck you want in your checked baggage. You can put your plate carrier. You can put your holster
with plates.
With your dummy plates or with your, I don't know about your real plates. If you do use real plates, just the only consequence I can think of is you'll go over the weight limit.
Yeah,
and you have to pay a bunch of money.
For
you
travel.
Because think about it. It's just stuff you wear. You're just wearing it's like bringing a bike helmet. Would they freak out about a bike helmet? No, it's just a helmet for playing airsoft.
They may open your bag.
Now, is that the same? Is that the same for magazines as well? As long as they're empty.
Yes, you can put magazines as well in your checked luggage, because here's what the TSA guy told me. The TSA guy said when it goes through that X-ray machine, they identify it as airsoft immediately. There is a huge distinction between a real gun magazine and an airsoft magazine, and they see that like clear as day.
Okay.
So you can put mags, you can put your plate carrier, you can put
helmets,
boots, what else?
Goggles, boots, gloves,
your goggles. Pretty much everything that you are wearing, you can put it in your check baggage. Now your gun, just refer back to my video or any of the previous videos where they talk about it.
We've talked about going through TSA.
Keep your expensive items, like if you're bringing a GoPro or if you're bringing some other items, maybe put that on your carry-on so that way you are keeping track of it.
And something I've brought up before too is if you know where you're going, you can always ship your stuff ahead of time. We've done that at several events when we don't want to take Thunder Bees or a variety of things in our carried on luggage or even our checked baggage, just because we don't have the space and we don't want to carry it all, lug it all with us. So we ship stuff ahead of time to our hotel or wherever we're going to be, and that's convenient as well. We haven't really had anything lost.
I like doing that for like non-essential items like Thunder Bees, BBs, stuff that has a lot of weight, because when you hit that weight limit, you're paying an extra $50. And why would you pay an extra $50 when you can pay a total of less than probably $30 to ship everything?
Yeah. Or just buy it at the field.
Or buy it at the field.
Now, things you can't bring. Don't put green gas in there. Don't put 12 grams CO2.
Nope.
If you're gonna, if you got a P-Star, and you're gonna transport your tank. Empty your tank completely.
Oh, interesting. Because when you go up in the air, it's gonna change of air pressure.
Yes.
Will expand.
Yes. And one final tip for myself: lipo batteries. Get a lipo sack. Put it in the lipo sack. You never know. You don't want to, just for whatever reason, you don't want. If that lipo catches fire, you're 30,000 feet up in the air. It's gonna be a bad day for you
and a bunch of other people.
And a bunch of other people.
Yeah,
that's true.
I wonder if that flight had a lipo.
I doubt it.
I'm not gonna. All right, Jed, you want to pull the next question so it's not awkward anymore? Thank you.
Okay. Oh gosh, this is a long one. Oh my goodness!
No!
Holy cow! Mr. Captain Crispy, here's a question for you guys. For post-apocalyptic or zombie events like revolutions here on the East Coast, hosted at Ballahag Airsoft, what do you find a good non-militarized setup, and what are your thoughts on the event type itself? This is a really good question, and it's very different.
I've never personally played in a zombie game. I've filmed them and I've watched them, but I've never actually played.
Have you? I have a lot to talk about.
So I know you actually used to host zombie games. You still do?
I'm actually thinking about hosting one really soon here.
Fantastic. Yes. Well, so from what I think would happen in real, in the event of a post-apocalyptic,
let's stick to airsoft, because you can go all sorts of crazy ways.
Well, I'm just saying,
so
in real life, you'd want to pick a weapon that it was easy to get ammo for, right? So you're picking a weapon that uses a caliber of bullet that is readily available. So 9 mils are going to be prevalent.
Okay.
Right?
And since this is airsoft, they're all 6 mil.
Right. So that's not really. But
he's trying to theme his loadout correctly.
But in saying that, I feel like my most effective weapon would either be something close quarters, because as you know, zombies are not ranged attack animals, right?
Right.
So you're going to be dealing with them up close, okay? So my weapon system is going to be compact, and it'll probably just be a pistol.
Okay. I'm going to tell you the ultimate zombie loadout right now.
All right, I'm ready.
Ultimate airsoft zombie loadout.
I was going to maybe say, I would just rather go for the opposite side of the spectrum and just go completely extreme and find, an M240 Bravo or something and just be retarded with it.
All right. You can do that.
I'm just going the opposite side of the spectrum of what would be fun. I'm saying minigun.
If you tell me it's a shotgun,
all those fake zombies are gonna be really mad when they get shot by
because
like 40 pellets
I just thought about a shotgun and I was like, I think
that's exactly what I was gonna say.
Ahead.
Okay, so here's why. Okay, so number one, you need a melee weapon, all right, and you want it to be a very long melee weapon. One of my games, this guy came with a sledgehammer, and the sledgehammer had like a 4-foot long handle on it. But it was amazing because the guy could just be like, "Here comes a zombie." Bonk. Okay, that zombie's dead. Oh, here comes another one. Like, he got trapped in a room with like 4 zombies, and he killed us all, and then just like walked out of the room like badass. So you need a melee weapon because you will never run out of swings. Number 2, you want a shotgun, either like a single shot or a tri-shot. And the reason I say shotgun over the handgun is because the handgun will run out of green gas. Yep. And that's always a commodity whenever you go to these zombie events. There's going to be cans of green. See, that's there's always going to be cans. Dumb. There's always going to be cans of green gas. They're like, oh, you got to find it. So yeah, you might have tons of ammo in your handgun, but if you run out of green gas, what good does it do?
And I'm thinking real world, so yeah. Well,
and you can always reuse the shells. The shells are usually 30 shots, so you get 30 shots. And if you're using a tri-shot, that's 10 shots. And then depending on the rules for the zombies, you're already putting 3 BBs into the zombie. So if they're like, okay, you got to do 2 to the chest or 1 to the head or some kind of wacky combination, you've got it covered with the shotgun. I mean, and then it doesn't have to be a tri-shot. If you want to get one of the, you can even go with like one of the really, really cheapy ones that you just like fill the BBs into a reservoir, because then you don't have to worry about having a speed loader.
Or the new Matrix 3 and 6.
Yes. So
6 shots.
And I mean, you want a flashlight too, but you don't need to go overboard with like this
a weapon mounted
20 bajillion lumen thing. Just have something that's gonna illuminate an area around you, because remember that light is also a huge beacon saying, "Here I am." So I would actually say go with an incandescent light bulb. So that way it's dimmer.
Do you find that in your games, flashlights attract airsoft zombies?
Oh yeah. Like, I usually have to play the zombie, so the first thing I'm looking for is like, where's everyone with the lights? Oh, those people have lights.
So if we do it,
if we were to leave, I mean, this is a strategy we used to use in Airsoft in indoor games during low light games. We'd turn on a flashlight and leave it on the corner of a wall.
Oh yeah.
So people would, like, oh, there's somebody there, and they'd spend 5 minutes shooting at nothing so we could come around them. Would you say that would be a decent strategy? If zombies are drawn to light, could you set up a glow stick or a flashlight to be kind of a red herring?
You could. I mean, it just depends on what you're trying to do. I mean, if you're trying to get away, that's a good.
Oh no, I'm just trying to whack zombies.
Here's what I'm gonna do.
Like, what?
I'm gonna put a bunch of glow sticks on the back of somebody, like just like secretly put them there, and then I'm gonna have them all run the other direction.
Yes.
Misdirection.
But then usually is the point of a zombie game to go after zombies or to get from one point to another?
It's to get. The way I do my games, it's to get from one point to another and accomplish objectives
and survive.
So
and survive.
Do you throw other people under the bus when you play?
Hell yeah! Dude, if JP's running with us, I'm taking him out.
Well, that is what I'm looking for. Like, you go to one guy, you go, oh, you're shot in the knee, you can't walk.
The slowest dude? Take him out. Just enjoy, buddy. We're going.
That'd be fun.
Well, guys, thanks again for joining us on another episode of the Not So Roundtable. I think this is episode 24 now, right? Or 24, 25?
We're going to keep them coming.
You guys have been
compliments about it.
You guys have been really, really supportive. Thanks for tuning in with us. We're really enjoying doing this, and hopefully we can continue doing this in the future. We'll keep knocking those questions out. So if you guys have any future questions, feel free to comment in the section below, depending on whether George and I are alone next week or whether we have a special guest. Unless we're alone.
The two of us.
Just the two of us.
You and I.
Yeah. So depending on if we have a special guest next week or not, you'll see, 2 or 3 people here. So we'll see you guys later.
Later.